together or individually, will always be us together as a team. So I think she's capable.
So nicely said, isn't it?
Sum up important emotions.
Yeah, completely. I think poetry just gets to the sentiment of our experience, and it can just cover such a range. I just released a new episode of my podcast, Have You Heard George's Podcast, and the poetry that is covered in that is so different from what is happening here, but 15 was amazing. I've recently been made ambassador of Harry's charity with Prince Seeiso of Lesotho, Centre Bale, and it's all about providing psychosocial support for young people.
I walk around with my mouth open all the time, just staring at everything.
And David Beckham is still to come. So
I know.
Get worse for you.
I know. I could get embarrassing. Yeah.
Tell us about the Shipston Christmas community lunch.
So Tesserance, I started it a couple of years ago.
Spring and summer, yeah. So magnificent. So for the ladies, the instruction on that embossed invitation that dropped, thudded through the letterbox was day dress and hat. So tell me, Joelvin, what constitutes a day dress?
The choir since 1348. It is a wonderful tradition, so we're looking forward to that. This is the scene for you. Inside this wonderful chapel, Earl Spencer, they're just chatting to some guests before the service gets underway in a couple of hours' time. They've got a bit of a...
It feels like she is really opening a space for other black talent, and that's something that even people who are not a fan of the royal family feel very passionately about.
For her, so interesting. We could talk all day about this, but I'm afraid we've got to fit other stuff into. You look splendid.
Thank
we hope you
so
enjoy the day.
much.
Thanks.
Wedding, I think, is a perfect excuse to bring the colour, which everybody's
I was expecting to see a lot more sort of pastels, that kind of shell pastel pink. We haven't really seen that. We've seen a lot of bold colour.
Yeah, and as I was saying earlier, I think that there's those sort of like more wintry. I think so, yeah. Especially with me, when you just look bold if you wear a hat.
And we're looking at James. Yeah, there's Pippa.
Pippa's wearing today. She's wearing the Fold, which is a British brand, sort of like very sort of pared down, like the capsule wardrobe, the ultimate capsule wardrobe.
That's what she's wearing.
Half full at the moment, so that means about a couple of hundred people there, so quite a few people still to arrive, and we've seen over the past 5 or 10 minutes or so some of those people who've been associated with Prince Harry in the past.
Wow, haven't the A-listers all turned up at the same time?
Well, that was extraordinary, wasn't it? George and Amal Clooney, you really can't underestimate the sheer star wattage. Is somebody lighting them as they walk out there? Because they just are shining. I'm going to take a little bit of a punt and...
Marcus Buff and Kerry Mulligan as well.
I am very, very admiring of George for many reasons, but one of them is that he is walking nice and slowly because he knows that Amal's in heels. And I'll tell you something, it takes a bit of time to negotiate the ancient cobbles of St. George's.
Well, also, we were at the
lace dress. And a wave for the crowds, what they've been waiting for.
Seems like about 10:30 is the time to stay
yes,
to turn up to the wedding, isn't
I know, that must have been a bit of a job. She's wearing Valentino. Can I ask you, you've been keeping, Joelvin, a very close eye on the fashion of the guests. I took a complete punt, and I'm sure I'm wrong. I looked at Amal Clooney, and I thought that there is a fantastic British designer called Amelia Wickstead, who designs...
That denim brand, they're called Hyatt, I think. I love the story. They sort of like started in a small town in what was an abandoned jeans factory that used to manufacture for big brands. And they sort of like decided to bring this brand back to the town.
Yeah, it's James and his wife Jules Corden. James, of course, now a very big star in America, the star of Carpool Karaoke and many other things beside Tonight with James Corden is his talk show. He is, of course,
hasn't he done well? Now, Julie
many awards. And he's a icon.
And is that Sarah Rafferty we're looking at there?
Sarah Rafferty, yeah. Her Suits co-star looking utterly splendid. Talk to me about bell sleeves. That's a big thing.
A dramatic sleeve. you. She won't be eating much, I would have imagined, but it looks.
And the treasure list and the incredible people here.
Sahani, what an honour.
And this is just at the end of the long walk approaching Windsor Castle itself, where there'll be a grand procession, by the way, after the service. So this is...
I'm surprised if that's more than 100,000 people. I mean, 10 deep, 20 deep, 30 deep. I mean, it's going back to the tree line there. It's staggering.
And that's 2.5 miles long, so let's be very clear. This is a big crowd. Yes, it's a big crowd. Heading back towards the castle there, as we'll see later on, this is...
kids there and the lit kids also. So it's really nice that it's kind of 50-50, right?
So Ivy Mulrooney is there. She is the daughter of Jessica and Benedict. They are very close friends of Miss Markle. And along with little Ivy, and it looks to be an exquisitely cut and in many ways minimal and traditional dress with a... And so we're looking at Brian and John Mulrooney. They are helping with the train. They are doing a pretty decent job because I don't reckon they've done this before.
Good job, lads.
It is clear.
As man and woman grow together in love and trust, they shall be united with one another in heart, body, and mind, as Christ is united with his bride, the Church. And joyful commitment to the end of their lives. It's given as the foundation of family life, in which children are born and nurtured and comfort, and grow to maturity in love. Marriage marriage is a way of life made holy by God and blessed by the presence of our Lord Jesus Christ.
A seal on your arm. For love, it's as strong as death. But love is not only about
To have and to hold.
To have and to hold.
From this day forward.
From this day forward.
For better, for worse.
For better, for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
For richer, for poorer.
In sickness and in health.
Have and to hold.
From this day forward.
From this day forward.
For better, for worse.
For better, for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
For richer, for poorer.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
Megan, I give you this ring.
As a sign of our marriage.
As a sign of our marriage.
With my body, I honor you.
With my body, I honor you.
All that I am, I give to you.
All that I am, I give to you.
As a sign of our marriage.
With my body, I honor you.
With my body, I honor you.
All that I am, I give to you.
All that I am, I give to you.
And all that I have.
And all that I have.
I share with you.
I share with you.
Within and before this congregation, Harry and Meghan have given their consent and made their marriage vows to each other. They have declared their marriage by the joining of hands and by the giving. Those whom God has joined together, let no
Canterbury and the Dean of Windsor. And while those registers are being signed, there will be a feast of music for those people still waiting in the chapel.
With these beautiful Union flag banners, and indeed you may see at some point in the procession route, there's 1,000 metres of bunting that has been made by the tiny busy hands of the school children of Windsor and many other kids from around